Hello, Portage County, and a special welcome to our viewers here in the beautiful community of Rootstown. Rootstown, founded in 1802, is home to Northeast Ohio Medical University. I'm Dwayne Flowers for the Portager. Today, we are about to start live streaming the regular meeting of your Rootstown Township Board of Trustees. Please feel free to leave any comments or questions to ben@theportager.com. That's Ben, B-E-N, @theportager.com. And as always, thank you for watching and supporting local news at The Portager. We are now entering the historic building, the meeting chambers of Rootstown Township Trustees.
So my brothers,
okay.
you know,
Or if you need it,
I
just
had
scan it.
like something written. I actually emailed it to family and stuff.
That works.
No. But I don't know what to say. No, like you got. I was furious. I was home. You know, America's moved. Yelling like, you know. Well, your
How
mom.
far is this?
Our mom
Your mother.
was so great before she, you know, she was saying she wants to. Couldn't say anything. You don't have anything prepared. So man, I told you this. So.
Hi.
You're not going out anywhere. Yeah, 50 feet from me. You can't even, you know, you can't even dress yourself. You're not gonna go anywhere, you know. But you know, it's okay. I remember my memory of her is we had lunch together before because her mind was. We going right downstairs. Yeah. So you know, we had lunch together. That's about it.
And that's
No, you can get a
plus
agenda
all
over there if you want.
plus all the good stuff.
Yeah, all right there in
All
front
the
of
good
it.
stuff.
Yeah.
I don't have a sign-in sheet.
No, if you want to speak, you just got to say your name and address and. Brett, did you buy any chamber tickets yet? So I don't.
Well,
These are right down your route. They're only $5. For the scholarship.
yeah, and I'll buy a few. I'll probably go to your house this weekend and buy that volcano cash.
Oh.
Unless you want to follow me, he really does his thing.
That's
I'll stop, you want to stop about something? I didn't know all that. I was gonna say, I'll go.
Exactly.
And, you know.
Yep.
Let's go to the gun there. I'm probably
Yeah,
You're gonna be close to we're gonna be selling banners up here around 5:15 to 6.
So you heard anything more about?
I'll try for about 20. I'll text you.
Because I called maybe 3 weeks ago, I said, because these guys said, oh yeah, you can get a card for everybody to pay. I'm like,
You just gotta call national.
I said, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
So I
me
called,
either.
next day I called, she said, yeah, we'll get it in the mail to you.
And you still haven't got it?
No, you still haven't got it. I'm thinking I'm gonna call tomorrow again and say, look, yes, I know the mail's on
Dave,
tomorrow, but.
our
Well,
banner.
yeah, that's what I said. I mean,
We
it's
made
hard for
one
me
of
to
the
do
last
because
year.
I don't use
The only thing that scares me a little bit, we
Yeah,
were so
yeah.
tight last year. I was gonna be
And
over.
It's not right.
I wanted to be over by like 15, 20.
I think I used it one time,
Because I'm gonna
never
have
had
to
a problem.
spend.
So
Yeah.
it was-
So now the fact that she said something like,
Right.
well, they must
I'm not ordered that many, so hopefully we'll
A
work
doctor's
that
office?
We're gonna put a bunny together,
Well, that's what I
which is gonna really show.
Yeah, it's funny because they were
It's gonna be
taking those
good.
people's, I mean, you know, when it comes back to insufficient funds, that's not,
That's
that's not hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were.
I like when.
So I think I might use, it's just the flowers.
We've never had it. I like when the fans put the school out. I like when
Let me,
Copy of those
banners.
I would, yeah, Yeah.
The flags, it's just increased.
Flags going up this year, so.
The wreaths.
So that's what I'm kind of wondering.
Here's the one last year, better still over on one side.
Related to that.
On the other side,
What's
it's
going
gonna
on?
be the
I
flags
don't want, he's like,
and
you
flowers.
know, I said, yeah, but.
So
I'm
from
in
the.
business, you're
Flowers.
right. I don't want to be the guy that's 90 days out.
Exactly.
No, they'll be up till, almost all summer.
So if I pay.
Well, takes that right for the fair.
That's gonna be considered to them.
Yeah, because they don't get up to about June, so they get, people get the
All right,
money out
well,
of it.
and what I'll do.
I'll take it down before the football game.
I'll call again.
When do you put them up? In June.
What's our
We'll
plan?
come up for a
Maybe
roll.
I have to go
Right before,
instead
so
of
they'll be up the week before, June, last week of May.
actual people
We're gonna be
doing
roll day
that.
through July
Maybe I
fourth.
need to go to our.
Yeah. Yeah, so.
That's all we tried.
Something,
Roll
you
day
know,
through
we
July
don't have
fourth.
something straight
Representing that you were Joe.
Representing what?
account or something.
That's kind of more about a
Well,
project.
no, nobody else, but you could, I would.
You could put one up for yourself?
So that's what I said, how could it not be?
I think we're gonna, if you wanna make a donation, you can, but we're gonna absorb that.
Yeah.
Okay,
One thing
if I need some sponsors, I'll let you know, if you want, but we're in really good shape. You know, man, first,
What's the banner cost for their?
for renewals, like $40,
Right, I'm not charging.
75, because you gotta get the banner off of it, and then every year after it's 40.
I don't get a check.
Um,
Do you have something on there?
I'll shoot you this message.
Man, what a mess here. Who's sitting here?
Call me north.
We're gonna call this meeting to order, stand for the budget.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, today, need a motion, a resolution to approve the minutes from March 22nd, 2022.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Dave,
Aye.
Joe,
Aye.
Brett.
All right. All right, this time, we're gonna allow the Portage Development to make a presentation regarding an enterprise zone agreement.
Thank you. Thinking that the company will be here hopefully shortly, but if not, I'll try to do my best. We are presenting to you today.
Sir, one second, make sure you state your name and your address and your web for the record before you.
Very good. Bradford, Park. 72, well, actually, let me use my business address.
Yeah.
Okay. 217 South Chestnut Street, Ravenna, Ohio. I'm the president of the Portage Development Board. Okay, very good. All right. Good. Singleton Rio is looking to basically build a new building here in Rootstown to accommodate its growth. And it is looking to move from its current location in Manaway Township to Rootstown. The reason they're moving from Manaway Township is that their building is right now cannot accommodate their new growth because it is not on public water and public sewer. For it to expand up there, they would have to add firewalls and it would basically reduce the amount of usable space and the functionality of the building. So they're looking at acquiring some acreage here on Lynn Road to build a brand new building. I believe it's, I think it's about 100,000 square feet. 90,000, right. The total project for this would be, for the land and building would be $7.1 million. Personal equipment, other equipment would be $450,000. They would be bringing down 19 full-time jobs and 1 part-time job. And I believe over the next 3 years, they are going to commit to creating a total of 7 new jobs. For a total payroll addition of about $620,000. Singleton Reels for the audience. Here comes, in fact, this is an excellent time. Scott, would you like to come up and introduce yourself?
Sure. Welcome.
I have been winging it for the last couple of moments. For the record, would you give your name?
And address.
Scott Hamilton? Thank you.
Scott, can you provide your address too?
Address?
Yes.
Business address.
Business address.
11783
Timber Point, the on the end trail. That's in the big town of Manaway. So, just to introduce myself, I'm Scott Hamilton, owner of Singleton Reels. We're going to be building an industrial assembly plant on Lynn Road, and that's why we're here. Hopefully everything goes the way we plan, and really look forward to being in this community. Something that we've looked at for a few years, and we're excited to be here and be part of this community and help as much as we can.
Scott, prior to you coming in here, I was just giving some of the parameters, the project size, the cost, and stuff like that. Could you tell the audience a little bit about what you guys do?
Assembly of wooden reels. We do all types of reels, but 90% of them are wooden reels used in the telephone, cable, wire, rope, hose industry. We don't do all the cutting and boring all there. We just do the assembly. We've been in business for 45 years. We continue to grow, and just plan on making lots of reels.
No fishing reels?
No fishing reels or movie reels.
Check it.
You know, I get those calls. So
Yeah, I bet.
believe me, a lot of calls for fishing reels and movie reels. So, any other questions or thoughts? Okay, thank you guys very much.
Thank you.
The company has applied for a property tax abatement to the enterprise zone property tax program. The abatement would be 80% on the improvement to the real estate on the improvements for the next 15 years. They have worked out a agreement with the school district
Yep.
for compensation, and we present this to you for your review.
Some of the things, just to piggyback on that, I looked at, right now the current property value, the way it sits, is $2,000 in taxable in a year. Once he puts his building up, we're figuring it's close to about $8 million when it's all said and done of improvements. The property value is going to go way up with the tax abatement. With the tax abatement in effect, we are figuring about $32,000 to $34,000 a year in revenue versus the $2,000
Correct.
that we're currently getting. So, and then at the end of the term, then obviously we get 100%. So, yeah.
In the meantime, we've already worked out the deal with the school board to compensate quite a bit of the difference that they'll be missing out on during the abatement. So, everybody there is pretty.
Maplewood as well, right? I mean,
Pardon me?
Maplewood as well.
Yes. Yeah, it has to be.
I don't know if that work, if you have to do that separately or do you have to do it together?
I think together.
Okay.
They haven't said anything to me about separately.
Okay.
So
Good.
we got the
I didn't
preliminary
know how that works, no.
agreement, and there was just a couple fine things to change. But other than that, it actually starts this year.
Good. You guys are going to be breaking ground here pretty soon, huh?
Probably not.
No.
Can't get material for about a year
Yeah.
because it's all being gobbled up. We might break ground and do some site prep. But the actual building probably won't start until early of 2024.
You'll be ordering no material probably as soon as you can.
Yes. Yeah. As soon as we get everything tied up here and material can get ordered, and we're being told 10 to 12 months for material. So,
Wow, that long.
yeah. Jeff Bezos, Amazon.
Do you guys have a preference if we open up for questions before we make a motion, and then we'll Robert's rules, or should we just open up for questions right now? Does anybody have a preference?
A question from us? Or
From the audience, so from the, anybody else have any questions for, does anybody here, as the trustees, have any questions?
I do not.
Anybody in the audience have any questions? Do you want to provide us documents when we're going to make a motion?
Also need your signatures.
Yep.
Just also one more thing, this is a county zone, so this will then go to, for the county board of commissioners, I believe April 28th for their final approval.
Is there anything particular that has to go into our resolution, or just the approval of the Ohio Enterprise Zone Agreement?
Yes. I believe that is all the form right now.
Yeah.
Were you going to say something, Jeff?
No.
All right, then I'll go ahead and feel free to add anything to your wish.
Well, the enterprise zone was accepted in 1989, I believe, something like that. So this isn't a new thing. This has been around in the community. So
Looking for what, yes, we just have to make, what's our motion have to say then? Exactly, just that we're allowing them to enter into the,
We are entering.
We're gonna enter
Yeah,
into that
tax
agreement that Brad just gave to you. Motion
Exactly.
to enter into it.
then I'm gonna make a motion to enter into, to allow for the organization, Singleton Reels to enter into the Ohio Enterprise Zone Agreement. That was for tax payment purposes.
80% for 15 years.
At 80% for 15 years, thank you, John.
You're making a motion to approve it.
Yes, motion to approve it.
And I'll second.
All right, Dave,
Aye.
Joe,
Aye.
Brett.
Aye.
Sign it. Got 3 copies to sign and read, right?
When it's blue pen or doesn't matter. It's blue. It's blue pen. It's black ink.
We're back.
How long you been a trustee?
I know. That's what I got to find out on the truck.
Today's date is the 12th,
Yes.
4/12/2022.
Welcome to Rootstown.
I was just gonna say, welcome to Rootstown, guys.
Thank you
Julie,
very
got
much.
a resolution number for this?
We're excited. We've already been working some stuff out with the school already and made a contribution to help them with some things. And we do believe in the school system, so that's what we're here for.
And you got the Historical Society sitting in the front row here, so, you know, and the military guys. So one thing that he's very big on is having an American flag that is extremely high and big.
And
so
taken
everybody can
care
see
of.
it.
Oh,
Dirty and ripped and, cause that's a.
I don't think we need to worry about that.
Question for you.
No.
I know.
This resolution number.
little history is I lost a son in Afghanistan,
Oh,
so that means everything to me. So that will be a well-groomed area. That flag will be flying proud, and it'll always be up.
To their
I
resolution.
think probably their
and
resolution.
then I believe you donated a flag to the
Cross that out.
school. Or
Flagpole. We
to the school.
bought a new school, a big flagpole for the school already. They wanted one.
That's all. So they will fill out the rest of this.
I don't know what they did with it.
I think they're gonna put it down right near the end of the field.
They're actually gonna combine the 3 schools and put one big one up, is what I'm being told.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep. And they're gonna move one down by the field.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys already start putting pegs out there or? markers?
Yeah, they got some markers for that, and then that all had to be perk tested and everything like that, so.
Seen there's some little markers out there.
Yep.
I didn't know.
We're gonna put a nice sign out front and just say future home of Singleton Real, so people know what it is. And
Does the son-in-law realize what he's getting into here?
that's too late now, almost. Down the road, next to Sherco. Swing between Sherco and the daycare there.
Yeah.
Might as well leave it like
We were
that.
talking about that.
Scott?
Yep.
I'm getting these off the line, when I come down here and head this.
It'd be nice if we had grass there instead of the ditch that people throw trash in.
Something's growing there. I see sticks growing up with little pink tape on
Looks
it,
like
so,
that,
yeah. Something's going on there, and I'd like to see that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks for your investment.
Yeah, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Hopefully we get to see it when it gets done.
Oh yeah, you will.
Hopefully. Going somewhere?
I know. Yeah, we're ready to proceed. All right. You guys all signed? Everyone? Okay. At this point then, next on the agenda was Les Meach. I think he contacted me and maybe you as the other trustees as well regarding when to come in. I put him on the agenda I also sent a message to contact Bill Hahn with what he was thinking before he came in, so we could all have an idea of what he wanted to do. And obviously, he is not here, so we are going to move on at this point.
That's dealing with the fish in the pond.
Yes, exactly. So,
Because these guys might not know.
so at this point then, we're gonna move into the permit reports, and Jordan, I will start with you.
Okay. So normally I give you the permit report and I say there's been 4 or 5 permits since the last meeting. Well, this time I have 18 permits since the last meeting. It's been very busy. We have 3 accessory buildings, 3 additions, 3 fences, 3 lot combinations, 2 lot splits, 3 swimming pools, and 1 shed. All in the past 3 weeks since the last meeting. I also gave you guys a new zoning map that has been updated by regional planning. They have also made the full-size zoning map, and Joe, I'm expecting they'll give you the full-size map tomorrow at the meeting.
Hopefully, I'll remember to ask.
Thank you. Next, I have also your packets with zoning amendments that went through the zoning commission, and those need a public hearing for the trustees.
Hang on a second, we're still going to do all these.
Okay.
So if the pools don't say in ground, then they're above ground?
Yes.
Is that your de facto concept? All right, I'll make a motion for, to hold a public hearing for proposed amendments to zoning resolution 2022-001, 002, and 003. And what would be our dates on that? Meeting, I guess.
So 26 is our next meeting. Does that give you enough time?
Yeah.
Is it usually good? Yeah.
April 26th.
We good with them?
April 26th at 5:40.
Can we do it at 5:35? How long been doing 5:35?
We can do 5:35, that's fine, okay. That way we don't have to, like, sing and dance for 5 minutes in case we...
Yeah.
Need a second?
I'll second.
Dave,
Aye.
Joe,
Aye.
and Brett.
Before we move on from this, is there any expectation that we're gonna get anybody here to dispute any of these resolutions?
There was little to no attendance at the zoning commission, so. The next item I have, we had another chair break up here, and we're at the point, we have 6 chairs here, and we have 7 member boards at the zoning board, so we need to either replace the chairs that broke or just replace them all, but I needed trustee input on how many chairs are you interested in getting.
I would say 1 for each state.
Yeah, how many do we have right now?
Well, we're down a couple now.
Yeah, we're down to these 6 chairs here, so. I can't remember what we used to have, whether it was 8 chairs or 9 chairs.
Well, 2, 4, 6, 8. We need big chairs for the tables? Makes sense, right? I don't think we're gonna jam 3 chairs in, where we're gonna put them.
Man, we've talked about this, man,
Yeah.
several months ago, and I
Yeah.
don't think we just never really did anything with it.
I think we had somebody who was supposed to look into new chairs and pricing and.
Joanne's got a good
I don't
person.
know who. Maybe somebody else.
You found good deals for me.
I can look them up.
Well, I've looked a little bit already, because at the same time, we've had chairs break downstairs in the lunchroom, and we're short on chairs down there, so if we just do it all at the same
Yeah, so how
time.
many we need down there?
So if we take these ones,
you
and
need
put them
dozen?
downstairs.
If you want to, you could.
That's a
The ones
good
up here
idea.
that aren't broken?
Yeah, we'll take these chairs,
Yeah.
put them downstairs, and
And just replace these ones up here,
Okay.
okay. I tried to find something similar to these ones, just for a estimation. The closest I could get to these chairs here, I think was $220 a chair at Staples. But I didn't know if we wanted like a heavy duty kind of chair, something longer lasting, so
Yeah.
that would up the price more.
something ergonomic.
You want me to look?
Maybe
Yeah,
a little foot left.
she works with independent business supply, and they also have some really good chairs.
Yeah.
You know, the one I'm in, I think was under $200.
Like one with a little massager on it.
Foot kick up?
Yeah, I said, you heard me say that, yeah. Little
All right, I can do
Something
that, no
doesn't
problem.
squeak.
I've got their pricing, discounted in my computer book anyway, so.
Okay.
I can look that up.
Thank you very much. My last thing is just our move to the fire station. This is our new phone that's gonna now be a cell phone that we can take out on the field, so that's good. We'll, instead of moving the phone number across the street, we're just gonna have it on here.
Okay.
That's one thing we were waiting on, and now the next thing will be scheduling the copier to get moved. Because that is through the lease, the company has to move it, we can't move it ourselves. So now that this is done, I can schedule that, and once that's scheduled, we can pretty much start moving.
Okay, so address is gonna stay the same here, right?
Yes.
Obviously.
Yes.
What about we talked about the sign over the door, it says fire department.
That is
That'd
getting
be nice to
re-lettered.
say zoning on there, so, okay.
Yeah, that is getting re-lettered.
The outside one, you can see from the road, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And we have other new signs to install outside. Those are done. We have those.
Are those on a post in the ground, or?
The parking signs will be on a post in the ground. We'll have another sign probably mounted on the wall next to the drop box.
Okay.
To show where the drop box is. We're
We're
also installing a sign here by the railing because people will not know. Not everyone's going to know right away. So we're going to have a big sign so people don't go all the way down the steps just to see that we're not there anymore.
Okay.
So we have that sign already too.
And we need to talk to Chief Palmer about pulling trucks out the front. If they don't do it all that much, but that's something we have to be cognizant of. They pull the trucks out, and and it's not like we're having people like lining up to pull up there, but that's something that we need to be aware of in case someone does want to go, pull up in front of the zoning office. That it's not being blocked for the trucks. I mean, it's kind of hard to say that, don't pull the fire trucks out of the firehouse, but.
Yeah, I was wondering,
That would
we're
be
gonna get
managed.
signs up that say do that park in front of the doors, have those came in, or?
Yes, I have those signs. As well.
Yeah, they on the fire station doors. Yeah. Kind of like we have.
Well, we got them for the red posts in between each door. That's
Okay.
we got them for that.
Thank you, George.
Well, what I need to know from the trustees is what do you want from us as far as when we move? Like, can we have a couple days where we just close the office and just focus on getting everything done? I didn't know if you wanted us to still have a couple hours of office hours each day, or should we just?
I think you guys could probably play that by ear.
I would imagine if they leave a message for you, you can work a detail out with somebody, and they need to do something with you.
We figured we could put on the answering machine just
Yeah.
that we're going to be closed this day and this day, or
Yeah.
limited hours, something like that, so that people have a heads up.
Can you put in the front board out there too, or the, sign up front in the yard that you'll be closed 2 days or whatever?
That's an option.
And of course, well, you won't need. I guess maybe you could put in the message on the phone too that you moved across the street to the fire department, right? I mean, so if someone calls, they'll leave the message. At least that's another awareness.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
You could put a notice. So once you probably let the webmaster know, so we put a notice.
Yeah, we're going
Yeah.
this way. Yep.
I'm sure you've got all that crossed. So. All right.
That's all I had for today.
What are we doing with this? Petro Shack. Nothing. No discussion. Okay.
The prosecutor's office is gonna handle it, from my understanding.
Oh, okay. Oh, I forgot what this was. Okay, this is that bill. Okay.
They're gonna pick up the.
I had already made the
We don't have to
copy
deal with that.
by the time that got handled, so that's just for your records.
Yeah. Wasn't real happy to hear about that. So once again, our county servants dropping the ball.
You know what, though, we can talk about things they may not have, Joe. What we can
No,
talk
they
about-
did. There's
Thank
no may around. They did. Thanks, Jordan.
you, Jordan. All right, I'll go ahead with the fire, and then we'll pick up the roads last, if that's okay, Dave. I'll be quick. I had a conference with the chief before I came over, and he wasn't able to make it tonight, but everything is going pretty smoothly over there right now. They're working with Jordan and everybody to make sure that transition goes smoothly. The chief also is gonna be out at the, and the fire department, is gonna be out at the Easter egg hunt on the 16th.
Saturday.
This this Saturday, so. They've been busy, obviously, everybody heard about Dussel's Farm, and they were there to help out mutually, so. Anybody has any questions, feel free to reach out to them. So just, let me know at this time, then Dave, go ahead with the road department.
A couple things here. Bill's looking for chip and seal. He wants to get some proposals to get a bid out, which would go through the engineer's office first. But we're looking at Homestead, Ravenna, Park Avenue, Rootstown Road, from Sandy Lake to the property line north, so basically Franklin Township. So Sandy Lake to Rootstown.
Definitely needs it.
Yeah, and then you get the west end of Lynn, and then Hattrick from the railroad to Camp Road. So he's looking right now to get some numbers. Right now, we're not hearing very good things with numbers. They're looking to increase that potentially here by 30% here before long. So trying to get in before they do that.
Yeah.
So
Is this chip and seal, you think?
this is just chip and seal, yes.
Didn't we do Park Avenue just a couple years ago? We did something up there recently.
We might have chipped it probably 7 or 8 years ago.
Okay.
I think when we did a lot of roads at once. So
Yeah.
they're just getting that time again.
Yeah.
So I'm going to make a motion to get proposals for chip and seal for those roads I listed.
I'll second.
No, wait. Are you
Oh,
each
bidding
one.
it out, or are you, what exactly?
We're not there for a motion yet, are we?
Yeah, we got to get it. We got to send it to the engineer's office, have them do their proposal, right?
You want them to create the bid books for you, or they're going to go out and get pricing for you? What is it that they're doing for you?
Yeah, what do they typically would do the
The construction estimate, and they
Yes.
do the bid books, if we have to bid it out, if it's
Yes.
okay, so that's what we're doing.
Yes,
We're contacting the engineer's office to get the spec books and
yes,
construction projected costs.
yes.
Okay, and then, when you find out what it is, if you wanna do all of them, then
Yeah, we
we'll
send it out.
have a resolution for your,
Yeah, correct.
just put it out for bid, okay?
Yeah. I wasn't
Don't
clear.
scare me like
I wasn't clear?
I'm just trying to get ahead of the game.
Yes.
I know. You know, I haven't been here for a while, so
I know.
I'm just new, remember?
So that's my motion.
Okay.
You've already seconded it.
That's our motion for later, not for now, right?
Now, yeah, you don't have to make a motion to send it to the county
So
engineer.
I'm gonna rescind
but-
my,
I don't think you have
rescind
to.
my second on that motion.
All right.
So then you can rescind your motion.
So, yeah, I'll rescind the motion on that, and we'll just go ahead and send it over to the county.
Right, usually Bill goes and talks to them about and gets that all set up.
One of the things that they requested this year that was new was a letter from the chairman, which he prepared and I signed it, so they are moving on this right now. It's a little bit different this year, he was telling me, so,
In county engineer.
yeah. We talked about that tomorrow. Dave, you weren't
Yeah,
there.
I don't know what you mean by that.
Yeah. It's just a bare bones letter to.
Like the engineer needs to
saying that
make-
we wish for them to provide us a quote.
So they want it from the
for
trustees,
project.
not from the road crew super.
They want it from the chair of the trustees.
Okay.
It's not wrong.
It was easy.
All right. Skid loader and side by side are all in. They're using them, so that's a positive. He also, we talked about this in our last meeting, and this is just one of the quotes that he's got. He's going to get a couple more, but he's looking to do paving in Cook Road, seeing how far they could go. And he talked about up to that first field and how they're constantly fixing potholes and
The entrance to the park.
the entrance to the park. So that was there, and he's also getting a proposal that would go up to $48,000. It would put us up just past the barn, because I think it was something we had talked about in our last meeting, trying to go a little farther with that. So he's trying to get a couple different quotes. Again, we're nowhere just other than this is what we're doing right now. So
So this is gonna be like road width.
only the road width,
Yeah.
whatever the
I mean, even
18
up, like,
foot,
up to
20
the barn.
foot.
Yeah.
Yeah, yep.
Hey, Dave, before we get too far along, just remember, I did talk to Gail Pavili about doing it from case to Cook, and she was pretty positive about that grant. So before you do the final committal, either you or I can reach out to Gail because
See where we're at.
see where we're at. And she acted
Well,
like,
at that point, then we might have an answer from them.
yeah, I mean, she acted like she was actually gonna shepherd it along. I was really impressed with her, so
It'd be nice.
it would be nice. Just keep that in the back of the mind that we may get that grant. I feel very positive about that.
Well, that's just an appropriation out of the budget, right?
Yeah.
Not a grant.
I call it a grant, Bill, but you're right.
But anyway, that's where we're at, so just kind of keep that in your mind right now. And, yes, that's what I got.
That's it?
They did do some work up in the park, they, up between the fields where we ended last year with pipe, and then we had the pipe, like it was open in the ditch, then went underneath the road, there was an open spot there.
During drainage or water?
Drainage pipe.
Right.
He actually put a catch basin in down there, tied the rest of that pipe all together to where now it's one solid pipe going under the road. Put a driveway, started the driveway back to where the dog park would be.
Okay. Putting grindings down in there? Or?
Put some grinding,
Okay.
not all the way back, just
So it's
he's
started.
got it started.
Yeah.
Obviously, every time we get something started, it rains.
Yeah.
Monsoon, and we're stuck again. They've done a lot of patching, a lot of road work, and then now we're going to be, again, once it dries up more than just 4 hours,
Yeah.
we'll start mowing. So
That'll be starting too. I know last meeting we talked about getting the water goes to the pavilions, getting a inhibitor or a regulator or something on that. So
they can turn on from underneath how much flow we want. We
can.
Yeah.
Bill. Okay.
So
Can we have Bill do that?
yes.
If he hasn't already.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I know he turned the water on.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he turned it all the way open where it was like a
Fire
fire hose.
hose, yeah.
But yeah, they can turn it down.
Okay. So when somebody looks that up, it comes out like a kitchen sink. Okay.
Yeah.
Good, thank you. And Bill did say that he had completed everything for our risk
Risk
management, risk assessment, so that's been done, so happy for that. I don't know where I put that, but appreciate him getting that done. I appreciate everybody getting his other stuff done, his harassment training done. What about this? Director's deed.
Oh, I was gonna do that under old business, but I can talk about it now. The property right there at 18 and 44, everything's gotten approved through the state. Jordan went up to file it today, and I guess they needed a signature, or not a signature, they needed to know who actually prepared the deed.
Yes.
So once he gets that information back, the recorder's office is gonna allow him to handwrite it on there, and then we can file the deed, and then that'll be our property. So
Awesome.
we'll need to reimburse Jordan for any costs that we have after that. So we'll have a piece of property here again that belong back to Rootstown.
You know, I spoke briefly with Phil, and he said that this is the year that we would replace the mulch at the park, because I know we're gonna have a meeting with the park committee coming up, and I'll let them know that. So probably at our next meeting, he said he'll have the quote for us to do a resolution. And he also said that they are moving forward, he signed the paperwork on the dog park, and it's been kind of wet. As soon as it gets dry enough that he can move the dirt around down there, that he'll get the dirt moved around, and then he will have the people come out and build the construction, the improvement for the dog park. So that is going in the right direction. We locked in with that.
Just the fencing?
The fencing,
That's the
whatever
only
else
one
that's
we're
done.
doing,
You're right.
More or less.
I mean,
More or less.
the fencing, but yeah, we need to put topsoil back.
Yeah, right. I know
We don't
that.
have any topsoil on there right now.
You know, I'm trying to think everything else that may have been with that quote. That is 90% of it, Joe.
Okay.
I've got nothing else. Anybody else?
I got one more thing. We approved last time to have the seasonal part-time workers working up to 1,100 hours. We need to get that advertised. I did check with Bill Joanne. He's looking at 24 to 32 hours a week for those workers. So I'll get with Joanne and figure out some verbiage for the newspaper and to hire those seasonal workers. And that was it.
Where? We're still on fire, right?
No, I did fire already.
So we went to old business then?
No, we went.
We flipped it around.
We're into, yes, exactly. Anything else, Chuck, with any of the?
No.
Okay, and at this point in time, I'm gonna move forward with citizens' comments. The purpose of citizens' comments is to allow citizens to present information or raise an issue regarding items not on the agenda or regarding agenda items that do not include a public hearing. A time limit of 3 minutes per citizen shall apply. Please state your name and address before speaking. I will start in the front row and move all the way back throughout. Anybody from up front?
John Foss, I'm speaking on behalf of the Rootstown Historical Society. We talked in the past briefly about a company over around Youngstown that's willing to donate some fencing for the old cemetery. They're still willing to do that, but I need to ask, get it on the minutes that you will accept the fence if they will provide it. My understanding is they will provide the fence and the installation. I do not have exact details of what exactly the fence is going to look like, but
Are we gonna need to do a survey on that first or anything, or?
well,
I
you
don't know
got
if
the
that's part of what I
survey.
found,
My wife was talking with Jordan on zoning, since the north and south sides still have remnants of the old cattle fence. The east end by Mosier's just recently removed, and he's putting up a building, so I'm not sure if we'll even put a fence there, because if he's 11 inches off the property line, you put a fence, then how do you mow that 11 inches?
Yeah.
So that's something we have to discuss. The west line, which we have not seen any remnants of fence there. That one, he said, according to zoning, if the fence is put on the line, you might need a surveyor to, stake out the exact line, or even if it's not on the line. But a written agreement with adjacent property owner needs to be filed. Or if you move the fence off the property line, you don't need to do that. But if you did it, like say 6 inches away, the fence would have to be up high enough so that a weed eater could go underneath and keep it trimmed, so you don't have 6 inches of.
Do you think where that tree line is between the property owner and the cemetery is near?
It
We have no idea.
is.
Which is why I think we should probably have a survey.
Probably
just
have a
to-
surveyor come in and just put stakes, and the
Yeah.
other thing that maybe to discuss before the fence goes up, there's a couple of big trees that are not in good shape. So if you leave the trees for now, then the fence would have to stop, go around the trees, or if you, eventually those trees are probably gonna need to come out, because there's been numerous other ones removed because they're dying.
We need to do it now then. before
Do
the
it now, and
fence,
then you can just go straight through. Along with that, I think, even if you're gonna put it 6 inches off the property line, you probably need to send a letter to the adjacent property owner stating what's going on. Also, I was thinking with the upcoming workshop in June, maybe the trustees should send an official letter that we're having a workshop in there, so she doesn't get alarmed if there's
Yeah.
we can do that.
30 or 40 people
So like you
walking.
get a letter written up, not right yet, but
Dealing with this,
cemetery workshop.
not just that, but, there's gonna be activity over there, a lot more than usual.
So then we might have Bill get a hold of a tree service, like
Is it-
we've used before,
Yeah,
those are big trees, that's not something we're
Yeah,
gonna
we
be.
can talk to him about doing that, and there's 2 of them, you say, that we're gonna need to go.
There's 2 big ones. Is there a third tree? I know, I think there's 3 hardwood trees and then some little pines that probably,
Can you mark them, like put a ribbon or something around it, or, paint or something around it, so it's,
I know, I was.
that way when the guy comes out to say how big are they, he'll.
You got Bill's number? Maybe we can have meet you out there
There we go.
somewhere, you can just meet him and say, hey, this is what we're looking at, we're looking to put a fence, and I'll let Bill know as well.
Yeah, I would hope that, I'm thinking on the property line for the cemetery, where that row of trees is, and the adjacent property owner, that hopefully those trees are far enough in, we can, if we're gonna put a fence, we put the fence on the back side of the tree, as opposed to having our, I don't know, what I mean, we don't,
We were
you know what I'm
looking,
saying? Kind of
yeah,
make it.
yeah, we were looking Sunday, the gentleman doing the workshop was up. And
Oh,
if you
good.
stand at the hitching post, because I talked with Dawn before, and she said the pine trees are on her property, but the hitching post is supposed to be right on the line. If you look at the hitching post and look south, the trees are east of it, so there
Okay.
again, I think, you know, if you had a surveyor come out and mark it, then there wouldn't be question, are we
Yeah.
encroaching on her
So
property?
we need to move forward with the surveyor too then, so, I mean, sooner the better, sooner we get that, the better.
And then one other thing, the Historical Society, at our last meeting, we have, one person has contacted this company with ground penetrating radar.
Mhm.
And Tim with the workshop said that he's in favor of it, but until somebody comes out and starts using it, depending on your ground conditions, sometimes it works real well, other times it not so well. And this company has said that they'll come out, and once they start doing things, if they find out it's not working, all they'll do is charge for their time coming up. But anyway, we've gotten several estimates, some of them going up to like $7,000 or $8,000 for ground penetrating radar. We've got this one, we've agreed to have them come out, just letting you know, we're doing this, but just, so also, I guess, just in the back of your mind, if you guys happen to come across any loose change that you don't have earmarked,
Throw it out on the ground so the guy finds it.
basically, yeah.
So my question is, with the ground, with this radar, what they're gonna pick up? I mean,
Well-
after 200 years, are they still gonna be, you know, are bones still?
Down below
intact?
with the historical society. If you go out on YouTube and look to see what the latest technologies for looking at old cemeteries are, ground penetrating radar, because the ground's been disturbed, in most cases, it's going to give you the shadow of the grave.
Right.
Because it's, the aggregate's been moved around.
Okay. So it gives good indication anyway then.
Right.
Yeah.
We use the opportunity to reach out to the water department. They want big money. I put something out there on social media with Akron University being a big engineering school. They teach this stuff.
Yeah.
2 years ago, they were donated a LiDAR system, which comes in overhead and with light gives you a three-dimensional map. So anytime you've dug something, if you walk homeland, you can feel where the indentations are, where the ground's settled. They can give you a map of that. So between the two, I've asked if anybody locally, any kids that have went on to Akron U, and I got a hit on your nephew. He's going to be asking his professor about the LiDAR program. But anything that can help quickly determine where the stuff is.
So when we do this, so we're not going to go just where headstones are, right? I mean, we need to do pretty much every square
Yeah,
inch,
because
right?
there's so many
Because he
blank
knows
areas.
what's been moved and what's,
From
yeah.
that WPA map that you got us, it shows like all along the south fence line that there's plots there. There's a couple known graves.
Right.
The rest of it, we don't know if anybody's buried there or not.
Right.
And that, we were hoping that with that radar, we could say, oh yeah, this shows.
And who knows, over time, someone throw a headstone down just to be in line with everything else, and may or may not be something there
It
or
just-
missed, or,
it's
so I
just-
think it's a good idea, we
Yeah,
cover it all,
it's something
yeah.
to try to see.
Yeah,
You know, and in there again, some of these graves are so old, I don't know, and like I say, it just depends on the rocks, the time of year, how, this time of year with being really wet, it might work better than later on when it's bone dry.
They would know that, yeah.
But anyway, like I say, you know, it's something we're planning on doing.
okay.
So maybe we'll just put all that in that letter to that lady, just, we're gonna have a lot of activity.
So with this estimate, is this an estimate you're bringing to us, or is this an estimate that the Historical Society is
This is
picking up?
letting
or-
you know, we are covering it.
Okay,
If, by
Gotcha.
chance, you have I mean, we've already asked for D2 cleaner and
Yeah.
for porta potty and different
Yeah.
things, so like I say, we're not saying right now we would like this,
Okay.
just something to consider
It would be a good opportunity for the township to have a handshake with this company. I mean, you still have Homeland, which is a lot bigger piece of property that you could use some mapping for.
Yeah.
If Akron University comes through, which a lot of times universities use these as school projects. And with a 1 acre lot like Old Cemetery, that's no time at all. Homeland, a little bit bigger. I even thought that Mr. DeWalt, Dave DeWalt, didn't he originally have some sort of surveying company? I mean, he may have.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, he may have a lot of contacts.
I know, I talked with Bill in the past, he said over at Homeland, according to his records, they're supposed to be empty lots, and they started digging,
Yeah.
and all at once find some
Yeah.
remnants of wood, so, you know,
Yeah,
that's
I think
something
that's a
that-
good idea if they're gonna do the old cemetery, because I know Bill has mentioned there's some iffy spots in Homeland, so that might be a good opportunity if we got them there.
Yeah,
you know.
so that's what I said, you know, I don't know
So this may
details
help
of
it
when
make
this
more
guy's coming in, but there again, if you wanna expand upon it and cover part of the cost, or whatever you can do, like, we just,
Joanne, we have, the funds we have a cemetery fund that's just on the, there's not, I know there's not much in that, but, I mean, this would be a perfect opportunity to use that as well as maybe top it off. I mean, this is $1,800 they're talking about. I think that would be something that, you know, we are responsible for the
Right,
cemeteries, I
it can be
think.
covered.
Yeah.
I just want to remind you that we will need a resolution when the donation comes
Right.
from the Youngstown company on the fence. You have to do one at that point. You don't have to do it now until you have the information, but
Right,
we
to
have
accept it,
to
right.
accept it by resolution.
Yeah.
And I'm just wondering, I mean, do we want to just do that, or is it coming through, because the Historical Society is the one that actually did all
well,
this?
basically, like when we did the transfer of the post office building, we put it on in the minutes,
Yeah.
2 weeks, I
Yeah.
have the minutes.
But I mean, as a donation, I'm asking that, you
I
know.
think we need to have a value though, too.
No, it needs to be valued, but I mean, the donation
No,
coming
I'm just
from
saying right
the
now, I just
Historical
need it on the
Society.
record that you're agreeing to accept the fence.
Yeah.
When it's time, yeah.
When-
But I just
when
wanted
the time
to
comes, right.
have somebody else besides me remember that we need a resolution.
Yeah.
To actually accept the donation.
Yeah.
So right now, we have in the minutes that we are accepting, moving forward with this
Yes.
donation. for
The
the town.
project's going and
Yeah.
so on, yeah.
I know I'm well over my 3 minutes, so I'll shut up.
Well, what about, this, I was
They
thinking
want a
we're an old
resolution from us
business.
that they accepted?
No, we're just in
No,
minutes.
I
We
think-
can't accept it until they give it to
So-
us.
Well,
Yeah, no, like I said, it just, once, I'll get a copy of the minutes in 2 weeks, and that should suffice.
Okay, so now we also have to bring up the survey again. Who do we've used somebody to survey in the past, I know, but.
Such is
Burmeister.
SUC.
FUC.
No. That's, I thought it is.
Burmeister Survey.
Yeah.
Yes, SZUCH.
Yes,
Yeah,
I think
all
that's
right,
who
that's
we
what
used
Yeah,
for that.
it did in 2019. So,
Memory
This
never
one-
works every once in a while, it's kind of scary.
This is the old cemetery.
oh, they did this in 2019? Well, that's pretty current.
Right.
I thought it hadn't been done in 200 years, so.
No, you have it done.
Okay.
And that's when.
So we don't need to survey it
You
again?
don't need it surveyed, you just need to mark the west property line. They should be able to, do that pretty
Okay.
easily.
So they just gotta find the pins and. put
So
them
we
on.
still need a surveyor to come out and do that?
Surveyor,
Okay.
he'd set up his equipment and just walk along,
Okay.
stick a wooden post with a pink ribbon every so many.
Do you want to contact him then, or with this, or, because you sound like you've, like, pretty much had this set up already, so.
Well,
Or do we need to contact him and see if he can do it?
since it's the
Could be
township
us.
cemetery, you probably need
Yeah.
to contact him to make it official,
Okay.
because you'll probably not wanna do it for free.
Right, well, let's
I-
get Julie or Joanne, what do you have as contact information? I don't know if it's on here or not, it's just the names
I
there, I
don't know how
the
current
address
it
and
is,
stuff.
but we can find it online.
Right
Oh,
there.
yeah, right there, okay.
Right there it is, so.
On an up note, on the storage unit side, footers have been poured, rebars in there, cinder block stacked, so they're moving ahead pretty quickly to get that retaining wall
There's
put in
that-
their
oh, there's a
building,
photo.
whatever they're doing.
Who's that?
Got it.
Oh, on their building, okay, all right, good.
Yeah, so hopefully hopefully, once they get the wall up, then they can backfill, and then, once we see what the wall looks like, we
Yeah.
can determine if we wanna put a fence there, or
Yeah, yeah.
not. As I said, it'd be
Maybe
nice.
bring a fence in a little bit more, just so we can get on the backside of it, or whatever, have to play out by ear here.
Thank you both.
So you get hold of the survey, okay.
Anything else,
Thank you,
Jim?
guys. No, done.
Let's go to the back row. Anything in the back row? Mr. Paulus?
Yes. Ralph Paulus, 4597 Lexington, please, Ravenna. You're talking about doing road chip and sealing and stuff. Do you think we could use a road grader to cut some berms so they have water runoff? Because you see on Lynn Road where we rebuilt that road a couple years ago, since the berm is higher than the road, it's already deteriorating. So there's no more for the water to run off. They take that road grader, cut the edge, like the county does and stuff.
You're asking if we can?
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, at one time for this.
yeah, but see if we can do that before we chip and seal the roads. You know what I mean? Thank you. All right, thank you.
Somebody will, yeah, see if it's feasible.
Thanks, Ralph. We will relay that to Bill Hunt. Anything in the back row, Dr. Gadd?
Yes, I applaud you for getting the corner property at 18 and 44 finalized. Would you please consider a military and historical component in whatever you're going to do with that property? That it have some deference to our history as well as to the military influence? Even if it's something little. Do you have plans for what you're going to do initially?
Honestly, Dr. Gabb, right now, we're just trying to get the parcel. So now that we got the parcel, I know that there's some people talking about wanting to donate a gazebo to put on there. My understanding is the Lighted Up Rootstown Committee has even talked to the owner of the building next to it, and they're going to do a big mural. Do you know what they're going to put on the mural?
That, we're not that far along yet.
Okay, so maybe kind
We
of
talked about historical component.
yeah. So the historical component. So
They approved that? The mural?
We're not that far along.
Oh, you still haven't you got that far?
they got the approval from the owner.
That's what I'm asking.
To say yes, you can do it.
Okay.
But they're not to what we're going to put on it and who's going to do it.
Thank you. Anything historical and military component would be helpful. Secondly, I know that Ed's been here, and I know they all know that they are welcome, but it might be politically advantageous if one of you trustees would reach out to each of the BOC candidates and invite them to speak at one of our meetings. Whoever is elected may well remember us when a decision is necessary at the BOC, but just calling them and inviting them to come might give us a little edge in the future. That's all. Thank you.
We're like really nonpartisan, so really shouldn't get too involved with that. You guys agree with that? I mean, we do attend the Township Trustee Association meetings, but we're a nonpartisan board, so it's a slippery slope, is all I'm gonna say. But point's well taken. I'll move on to Mr. Carpenter, nothing? All right, anybody else have anything for either old business? We'll start with old business.
Yes, lightning strike, I know, I think somebody was talking about that earlier when I came in, but I don't know. Everything taken care of from that?
We have some lights that still need replaced, but everything else we've noticed that has gone out has been replaced.
Is this tree still standing?
It is, we're keeping an eye on it
Okay.
because if it doesn't bud, then we're pretty sure that it's
Yeah.
not gonna survive, so.
Yeah, that's the last thing we want to do is to fall in this old building next to us and make it
Correct.
worse than it already is too, so. Or this one.
And then I brought up about the water bill in this building, how it's exorbitant, and I just opened it up yesterday, it's like $400 for here. And I
Not like the
said,
bathroom next door, but this building.
this
Yeah,
building
leak
right
somewhere
here,
in
so
that.
somewhere,
So that's not even that.
so
building?
he said maybe it was connected to, maybe it hit the, what do you call it?
Shorted out the meter or
The
something.
meter,
huh?
so we need to, I don't know who checks that for you, is that
We'll
Portage
have
County?
Bill.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
we'll
have
have
to
Bill look into it and talk
with water
Bill.
resources.
Now that's not even the garage. So the garage has its own address. Or would this be the garage and?
No, the garage has their own. The cemetery has their own. Case has its own. The fire department has its own, and the fire department was
Hang on.
$200 less than
Brett,
this.
check underneath the sink and see if it's leaking.
I'm just wondering, sometimes was it a catch-up bill, maybe they didn't bill the rest of the quarters?
No, because I get them quarterly for everybody and pay them all this at the same time, so there's something amiss.
Yeah. I
So,
think they're showering here, so.
yeah, that in case something blew.
So this is
that all hit.
January, February, March, and, yeah, something.
I knew there had to be something up unless
Yeah.
there was parties going on and I wasn't aware.
What kind of party?
Yeah.
Using $200 worth of water.
So,
I can bring up one thing that I don't think was resolved yet. It did strike, or it did impact, there's a cable box downstairs with the TV spectrum, and that went out, it fried. And I know, did Bill say anything? Because he talked about not replacing it and just canceling the cable.
He did. I know the cable bill, I don't know what it is, but he said he would be fine if we
time,
could just get
you're
a
talking about
Time
spectrum.
Warner, say whatever.
It's like for him, it's probably $140 a month.
That's but that's the internet and.
It's not internet.
So this is just, this is just.
So if he doesn't need,
Well, what he's wanting to do, and he was asking, I'm glad you brought that up. He said, if we could just get a smart TV, and then it would just have the local channels, and they're cheap, I think, so. And get rid of the cable and all that together.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Maybe just have them check for
Because
prices and see.
what are they using cable for? Lunchtime?
Probably.
You know, I mean.
Yeah, I would rather get rid of it, and if if we can just get a TV and it's $300 or something, we're saving that 3 months, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Or potentially. And then we don't gotta
Okay,
deal
so
with
we
it.
want to go ahead and cancel the spectrum in downstairs?
cancel the cable is what I would say,
Yeah.
and then you can figure out from
Yeah,
there
if it's not
what's
working
gonna
now, it ain't gonna
Right.
do much for us now anyway.
Right, so
yeah.
cancel if we don't have a box, so let's do everything good. Why pay for something we're not using? And that TV might be smart enough to pick up if you put something.
Yeah.
I don't know how old it is, it's
It's
probably from 1980s, I don't know, but.
Yeah, it's a bad one. So he was saying we could just replace it with a smart TV. that we
Yeah,
can-
and just using the wireless, yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. So
Okay.
you'll end that then? Alright, cause everybody's separate, like the fire department's a separate account, I'd imagine, right?
Any other old business?
No, we did ours. I did mine earlier.
Yeah, none for me.
I have just one thing, I'll be quick about that. The RTP grant, I spoke with the regional planning, we weren't gonna proceed with it, but after speaking with regional planning, there really is no cost for them to reapply. I talked about some areas that we were maybe weak on, that we could potentially make it stronger, so we will proceed with filing another RTP grant this year. Ultimately, that was our plan, was to put a grant together, good grant together, and we keep doing it every year until we get it, have a positive attitude about it, so I just want to make sure the record was clear about that, because we talked about the previous meeting, maybe not going after it, so we will try at least one more time, based on the conversation.
The trail grant?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that this paperwork here?
Rural
No,
service
that's a different one.
transportation?
That's
Yeah,
different.
that's different. Okay.
All right, moving on to new business, any?
None.
I don't have it.
All right, we're gonna adjourn, thank you, everyone.
You put that in here?
Yeah, that's one of the ones you emailed.
Oh, this was the native. Did you want to talk about that?
No, that was not yours. That's an actual road grant. I showed it to Bill already, and he said,
Okay, I got it.
You got that look on your face, like you're afraid. Thank you.
Cut the front foot there.
Joe, you got the last.